Thank you so much for joining us today. I look forward to showing you how to dominate the first page of Google without paying for ads. SEO have been my passion for more than 12 years now, and I would love to share that with you. So let's get started. Just a brief about Green Lotus. We started about 7 years ago, and we have worked with clients all around the world. Actually, we now have clients in all 5 major continents of the world, and these are some of our clients. The most common thing between all of our clients, they wake up every day and say, how many leads did we get today? And this is pretty much what we try to do. And this is our one of my proudest moments when we won the Canadian Entrepreneur of the Year. And I am joining you today because I know that digital marketing can be difficult. Actually, the number says that 43% of business owners have no time. We are all busy to running our own businesses, but the most unfortunate one is that almost 50% of business owners have no digital marketing experience. I was very fortunate that digital marketing is my career and my profession before I started my business. But for the majority of you, if you're a hotel owner or restaurant owner, you're really good at what you do, but digital marketing is not really one of them. So this is why I am here with you today to kind of reveal some of the secrets, and hopefully you take some nuggets with you today. And today we will be talking about how to dominate the first page of Google, not just to rank on the first page of Google. I would like you guys to rank once and twice and 3 times and even 4 times on the first page of Google, because it's a numbers game. The more you take out of that real estate, the more odds that you will be getting that fresh lead and fresh sale. So before we start, and just to back up why we are really talking about Google, the best place to generate leads online is obviously search engines. 91% of users use search engines before making a buying decision. When was the last time you walked into a Best Buy or the Breck or Sears or saw a couch or a computer and said, I will buy it? We don't do that anymore. We do comparison shopping, we do research, and all of that stuff. And the more scary number is that 75% of those 91% do not go to the second page of Google. And why is that? I believe that we have this belief in the back of our brains that said if they're not in the first page of Google, they're not good enough. So if you do this when you buy a couch or a computer, how do you expect that your customer or potential customer will do differently? They do expect you to be on the first page of Google, because if you're not, then you're not good enough. One trend here that has been consistent over the years, that 43% of search queries have a local intent. What does that mean? When we usually want to buy something or get something, we usually know 2 things. We know what we want, and we know where do we want to get it. So I'm looking for restaurants in New York, or criminal lawyers in Texas, or hotels in Pennsylvania. All of that stuff, I know what I want and where I want it. And this trend has also been recently doubling every year. 78% of local mobile searches result in an offline purchase. This is mainly influenced by retail, but it shows you that people on mobile act differently. When you are searching something on your mobile, you usually have a sense of urgency. You either want to buy something or want to talk to someone immediately. You want to know something, you are in the go, and you want to find answers. So this takes us to the next slide here. So in order for you to dominate the first page of Google, let's understand what appears on the first page of Google. The first part is the ads, or what we call them search engine marketing. And it's very straightforward. It's pay per click, so the more people click on your ad, the more you pay. And you pay every time someone click on your ad, and once your budget of the day kind of expires, then your ad do not show anymore. And the rest of the results is what we call them organic, or the organic way of Google showing who is the best results for this search query. So the most popular one is the local, or the local map, and that's what we call them the 3-pack. They usually appear in 3 results. And you have the regular blue links and description underneath, and you can show some other verticals as well. But to really kind of see the full picture of this, let's understand everything that appears on the first page of Google. So we have the ads, we talked about it, but we also have another 6 verticals that also appear on the first page of Google. The regular one is the web pages, the maps, the images, videos, news, and shopping. These are all 6 verticals that shows on the first page of Google, and we call them blended search results, or some other experts call it universal search results. So they get the best of all these verticals and show on the first page of Google. And guess what? You have 6 times the opportunities to appear on the first page of Google using SEO than just paying for it. But paying for it have its own pros and cons as well. But the point that I'm trying to illustrate here now is that you do have 6 times the amount of chances and odds to appear on the first page of Google just rather than just paying for advertising. But which way? Like, what is the difference? For me, when you do SEO, it's like you're buying a car. When you buy a car, the car is $20,000. You pay $1,000 every month for the next, 2 years. But then after that, you still own the car, and you're still getting the mileage out of it. When you do SEO, let's say you did SEO for a whole year, and you were nowhere on the first 10 pages, and now you have like 50 keywords on the first page of Google, and let's assume that you stop doing SEO completely. You're not going to go back to page 10. Your ranking is going to fluctuate because your competitors are also optimizing, but you're not just going to fall off the sky. You're still going to retain the authority and that ranking for the most part because you have put the effort into it. It does move slow, and it is a long-term strategy, but the benefits and the value of it stays for a long time. When I started my agency, you do not want to have my competitors, right? My competitors are the whales of the SEO industry. It is one of the most competitive markets to rank on. It took me about 2.5 years to get more than 200 keywords to show on the first page of Google from the most important cities. But guess what? I don't need to spend advertising that much anymore. I don't need to get that much of efforts anymore. We get about 6-7 leads a week organically, no matter what, because we have put the time and effort, and it's still lasting us on year 7. But when you do SEM advertising or pay-per-click, it's like leasing a car. It's much cheaper, direct kind of way of doing things. But as soon as you stop advertising, you're going to fall off the first page and you're going to go back where you are. But that's not all bad news. You can use pay-per-click advertising in your high season. All of products, majority of products are seasonal dependent. You know when is your high season, and when a product or service in season, usually convert 3 times more than the rest of the year. So when you know that the season is coming, start your campaign 2-3 weeks in advance. You know that there is a promotion. You know there is a ski slope open. You know there's the beach open. Just be ready for that because you can capitalize a lot more. And what would it do? It would not hurt if you spent $5,000 and made $50,000, right? If you have the right return on investment, then absolutely do it. But know after you stop your campaign, you're going to go back to exactly where you are today. It does not have a longevity to it. So back to kind of the different results that we've talked about, there was a case study was done on more than 5,000 keywords, and almost 80% of keywords that the research was done on have returned multiple verticals to it. So it shows how much does Google like to show multiple versions and multiple verticals and enrich that first page result. I hope I did not confuse you that much. I'm going to try to help you and kind of guide you in where to invest your time and money. And this is the most important part that I would like to do with you today. So I'm going to be talking about 9 exact points, and also you will be getting the handout of this presentation so you can actually follow point by point. The first one is the most important one, is to understand how does the SEO work and what is the most important factors. There are more than 200 factors, in SEO, and Google changed their algorithm almost at least one algorithm change a day. Last year, they did more than 400 algorithm changes. But the core of SEO kind of still stays the same. So the first part or the first pillar of factors is what we call off-page factors, or sometimes we call it the trust factors. Are you trustworthy? That's what Google wants to know. And trustworthiness is usually measured by the amount of people talking about you, which is translated online to the amount of quality backlinks and the amount of the quantity of those links, and what is the text that is used in those links, and the reviews and the IP addresses and the press releases. All of these are the influence. Like the famous people are famous because there's a lot of people talk about them, and it's the same kind of thing that is Google kind of look for. You are trustworthy by relevancy as well. The other thing is what we call on-page factors, or what we refer to them relevancy factors. Is your content optimized? Do you publish content frequently? What's your metadata? What's your site structure? What's the user experience? All of the stuff that Google looks on for the user experience. And does your website speak to the search query that you're targeting? And there is one other pillar that I would like to add. This is where kind of majority of the algorithms and all of that stuff happen. The hosting location, domain security, site speed, domain registration, all of this stuff is kind of the others, but the majority of the factors are on the trust factors and the relevancy factors. So which one is the most important factor of all of these three pillars? And again, the numbers I'm going to show you are not certified by anyone on the face of the planet. This is just from my own experience, and I would like to share it with you. Number one is trust. Google wants to know that you are a trustworthy website, that I would like to get you on the first page of Google because I trust you. It's like my company is established for the last 25 years, and that's kind of the same factor that Google wants to know. Then followed by relevancy factors, or on-page, and then the others. But where to start? Which task you should tackle first? To me, on-page is the first thing. You need to get your website on check. It's like if you're selling a house, before you go around the neighborhood and put flyers, you need to fix the doors and the windows and the carpets, all of the stuff. You need to make sure that you got all of this covered. Google is not going to rank a website on the first page if it's not mobile friendly, or have a broken links, or all of this stuff is really basics, and you need to really get the handle of all of that before you start thinking about backlinks or reviews or all of that stuff. You need to offer users a stunning experience. I'm going to talk about what is that user experience now means, because what it means in 2019 is really different than what it meant in last year. So the first part in the first 9 steps that I'm going to be talking about is that I see a lot of business owners' websites. We do, like, as I said, about 6 audits a week for new clients. And this is the common mistake I see all the time, that people are heading in the wrong direction. Not really the wrong direction, it's the wrong keyword. A lot of people have unrealistic expectation, think that this is the right keyword, and kind of like hit, and like it's like you're taking the wrong train, hitting in the wrong direction, and then 2 years from now it's like, oh, this SEO did not work for me. I'm like, well, you're on the wrong train to start with. So I want to stop and really explain this a little bit, and I'm going to go over the other points a little bit faster, but this is the most important part that I want everyone to understand. In order to explain how to choose the right keyword, I want to first talk about the consumer purchase cycle. This is the same cycle for anything that you're looking for online. Whatever the product that you're looking for, these are the same 3 stages that you're looking for. So let's say I am engaged and I'm about to buy a house. So I go to Google and I type new homes. I want to buy a house to start my family. And this is what we call browsing. And browsing type of keywords, usually what we call them short tail, is 1 or 2 keywords at max. So I'm just browsing. Show me everything that you have. And then I talk to the bank, and I know they tell me that I cannot afford the $5 million mansion I wanted. and I can only afford a little thing. So I start to kind of go to the next stage and start comparing. I know a little bit more details, or where do I want to live? So I start saying new condos, or new condos in New York, or new townhome in Pennsylvania. And then I move forward once I talk to my partner and get my finance in check and I get my mortgage approval and the whole 9 yards. Then I start deciding. And deciding is the most important area. That's what we call the long tail. And if you apply to the tourism industry, I would say if I'm looking for a hotel, I would be looking for great hotel by the beach in Pennsylvania, for example, right? And that, if I'm back into my real estate or buying a house example, I'll be looking for new semi-detached house under $400,000 in Pennsylvania. Long tail keywords tend to be 4+ keywords. And the main difference that the long tail versus the short tail is that I am very close to making a decision. If you do have that specific product, if you do have that hotel by the beach in Pennsylvania, then you are more likely to close this deal. Or I'm looking for a vegan restaurant that offer whatever dish. So if you are a vegan restaurant and you do offer that specific dish, then your website is more likely to rank and get that. But you tell me, but I wanna rank for everything. I just want to rank for restaurant Pennsylvania, right? Let's talk about this. This is a case study. This is one of the most beautiful case studies and the most simple ways to kind of convince you with what we talked about. So the short tail keyword is like the word T-shirts. This is one of the highly competitive kind of ways you can go about it. So if you just want to rank for restaurant Pennsylvania, how many restaurants are in Pennsylvania, right? It's like thousands and thousands, and your odds to rank for this keyword is very low. But not just that. You don't know what kind of restaurant is this person looking for. Maybe he's looking for a strictly vegan restaurant and you're not. Maybe this person is allergic and you do not have that kind of catering to them. Then you do not want them. You do not want to waste your time. You don't want them to get to your restaurant page and call you and spend 10 minutes with your host on the phone trying to ask about all of these things, and at the end of the day, they're not going to come. But the long tail keywords, or the 4 words extra, plus, these are the high conversions, low competition, because how many restaurants in Pennsylvania are vegan, right? So you are like 1/5 of the number, right, or 1/10 of the number. And now you are actually offering exactly what I'm looking for, and the odds that I will end up coming to your restaurant is a lot higher. And this is the secret of SEO. If you start your SEO strategy with the intention that you want to rank for everything and anything, then you're not going to end up anywhere, and you're not going to see the return on investment. You have to carve a niche or a niche for yourself to really dominate that niche. And if someone is looking for that specific word, that's the guy that I want. Cool? So moving to step number 1. So step number 1 is doing the proper keyword research. How do you do a keyword research? I'm like, I think this is what people search for. I'm like, in SEO or digital marketing in general, the word I think or I believe do not exist. It's numbers and numbers and numbers game. So all the screenshots that you're going to see on the slide are from Green Lotus SEO tools. As Susan mentioned, she is a user of it. It's an award-winning tool. There's more than 35 tools under one umbrella, and it's very handy. So let me explain to you what this is. So when you do a keyword research on Green Lotus tools, you get a lot of data into one single row, so you can actually evaluate if this is good or not. So the first one is the Google local searches. So this data is coming from Google Keyword Planner, and it's telling you the average monthly searches for that specific keyword. Then the big competition, and that data is coming from Google AdWords. That data shows how competitive that keyword is. And the third row is coming from Google Search Trends, and it shows you the seasonality of that keyword. Every chart in this is a month, a specific month, and if you hover over it in the tools, it will actually break you down the search volume for each of those months. This is a lot of really good data on one single row. But the main question is, what makes a keyword a good keyword? What makes a keyword a good keyword is what we call the KEI, or the Keyword Effectiveness Index. And this is one of the metrics that we have developed, and you can actually get it and see it in the tools yourself. So the best keyword is a keyword that has a high search volume and a low competition rate. This is the keyword that you want to go after. So that's why you're going to see the differences between this keyword and other keywords on the platform that will help you not just choose the most popular keyword, you're going to choose the most effective keywords for your business. And by the way, you can guys all try the tools. There's 7 days trial, no credit card required. I'm going to be moving straight to go through the 9 points that we talked about, the 9 steps. So step number 2, take charge of your mobile and speed issues. This is becoming one of the most important things that Google really rely on. I'm going to talk to towards the end of this presentation about the latest Google updates called Google Mobile First. But this is an audit. These are screenshots from the audits that you will guys be getting. And we're not just using our own tools. We are using Google Mobile optimization tools and Google Speed tools and Google User Experience tools. So all of this data is coming from Google Tools itself. So it's showing you that this website is not mobile friendly, the page speed is 32 out of 100, the user experience is poor. If all of this, why would you think that Google will give you a position on the first page? They want you to know that you're putting the effort into your website. As you would not like to sit on a broken chair, your website should not be either. As you would not like your customers to have a dirty plate, your website should not be either. Step number 3, take charge of your technical issues. And this is one of the things that a lot of business owners really do not pay attention for. They get a website, they have the website, it's hosted wherever, and they just don't know what happens to it. Sometimes WordPress plugins fail, or you update something and the website is break, and the only time that they hear about it when a customer calls and say, I'm trying to book a table or I'm trying to order from your website, but your website is broken. You do not want to wait for that call. Green Lotus tools will track broken links, broken pages, broken anchor server issues, pages not found, and slow response pages, and will keep the historical data for up to 5 years. So you can see the number of errors that this client had after upgrading their WordPress, and basically the WordPress have spit an extra CSS code that slowed the website, and the number of slow pages after being like 2 or 5 have increased to more than 400. It slowed the entire website, and a slow error like this, you will not know about it unless you're actually using an SEO tool. Step number 4, optimize site content. So this is one of the most elusive kind of terms that a lot of SEO experts use, but they don't tell you how, or what is the score of your website now and how to optimize it. And this is why in Green Lotus Tools, we have actually gave your website an SEO optimization score. So this website is 55%. And when you do the work, you will see the improvement in your score. So you can actually touch the results and the improvement that you've made. And it's showing you the exact what you need to do. There are 67 pages that have long title tags, 1 page with missing description tags, and all of this stuff. And when you fix them, the tool will go and scan your website again and say, yes, good job. Now your website is 67% optimized. And you keep going at it. And this is the only way that you will put a hand on your SEO strategy. As much as it sounds that I'm promoting for the SEO tools, but it's very hard to do SEO without having a tool that keep historical data, because if you don't, you're like shooting in the dark. You will do 1 or 2 things out of this presentation today, and then you're going to lose traction and you won't know what is the impact on what you did. And again, there's a lot of other good tools out there. You can try any of them. Spy on your competitors. This is step number 5, and it's one of the most important things. I hear a lot of my clients say, I want to know what this competitor is doing. I used to rank the number 1 for more than 20 keywords, and since last year, I lost everything. Why is that? You need to know and drill down into what is happening with your competitors. So those are all the factors that influence the off-page factors or the trust factors. So we get data from Moz, Majestic, SEMrush with another 12 APIs that you can actually measure what's your domain trust flow, what's your Moz authority, how many backlinks, how many linking domain names, are you getting links from government websites, educational websites, have your trust flow or your citation flow been improving or decreasing over time? You need to have the apple-to-apple view in order to know, yes, they are outranking me because of this or that. So if you know that the problem in links or the problem in the citation, then you can identify where you need to start working on first. Step number 6, building domain authority. This is one of the things that you really need to go at it. It does not happen naturally. And unfortunately, this is one of the most frustrating kind of tasks that business owners face, because they are spending all their time managing their business, but they're not spreading the word about their business. So the way you want to have a lot of websites referring to you, let me explain it in a little simpler way. So if I'm an accountant and I have a blog post about tax, and at the end of the article, I put a link to the government website to read more information. In this case scenario, who's more authoritative, me or the government website? If you have guessed the government website, you're correct. Then we need to re-engineer this. We need more backlinks linking to us. And I know that you guys all got this email that pay us $10 and we will put you on 10,000 pages. No, 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 no. This is not the type of backlinks that we want. Yes, quantity matters, but quality matters 10 times more. One good backlink is worth 1,000 of those links, and sometimes those cheap links might hurt you, and this is the toxic backlink audit that we will be providing you if you do request a free audit from us. And the other thing is actually going actively and sharing your press release and news. Every business has something to say. Just share it effectively with the world. When we do SEO for our clients, we actually include press releases in the package because you cannot just do it manually. You need authority websites. We use Cision, the biggest news wire in the world, or used to be called PR Web, and we write it and distribute it for our clients. And every time we do a press release, depending on the topic and kind of the industry, we get anywhere between 100 to 500 backlinks. Those backlinks are coming from trustworthy local newspapers, local magazines, local TV stations, and these are the links that Google knows that this link has been humanly verified, and Google knows that it is being distributed by Cision. So you actually spent whatever amount of dollars on it, so they know that there is a human behind it, and it's top quality and it's human verified. So these are the number of backlinks that we want. And by the way, we are happy to offer you a very special offer, $100 off on your first premium PR order. You can check the packages via the link when you get the presentation for all the people who are listening to us today. All right, step number 7. Local SEO is your quickest win. As we said, more than 43% of Google searches queries are local or have a local intent. This is one of the fastest first verticals that you can start on today and get it going. So what I would recommend you is to go around the web, search for your business name, and claim all the listings. Sometimes the yellow pages and other directories just have your business, but it's not verified. Make sure that you verify it and you claim your ownership of that listing. Have a consistent business NAP. NAP stands for name, address, and phone number. These 3 pieces of information need to be exactly the same across the web, and this is one of the most important things that Google needs to verify. So if you have different phone numbers, no, you need to only use one. Do not say like One Young Street, STRETT, or in another place you just say One Young ST dot, right? These are kind of two different addresses for Google. Be very consistent, especially when it comes to your NAP. Optimize your your location and listing pages. If you have multiple locations, make sure that every location have its own specific page with its own map and location and local number, because the thing is, I see a lot of people cramming a lot of information into one page and putting all the location and all the services in the whole 9 yards, and Google is smart enough to know. I'm like, no, Google still is a machine. And if you optimize for a lot of keywords or a lot of locations, then you have not optimized for anything. You need to separate your location pages so every page is relevant to a one location and one service kind of a deal, so the relevancy score goes a lot higher. Encourage reviews of your business with great offers. We have a dentist client that they offer their happy clients Starbucks, like 20 or 50 bucks Starbucks. As soon as they leave the dentist, I'm like, would you like to have a Starbucks card? I'm like, yeah, can you post a review on Google right now while they're standing? Other restaurants use the same thing. And right now, everyone have a Google account. Everyone can go on their mobile and leave you a review. Encourage that, because that's what is going to influence the Google sentimental analysis. Not just Google collect data about your location and what you offer and what you do. Google also collect data of how people feel about you. Use microdata like HCard. Microdata is a little bit advanced, but if you can ask this from your web developer. Just ask them to add an HCard to your website. It's a very simple way to do things, but it basically tells Google a little bit more data about your location. Step number 8. Wow, we're going through this quite good. Optimize for search engine verticals, right? You need to go outside the box. And the one thing that I would like to pay attention to is videos. YouTube. What do you think? Is YouTube a social media channel or a search engine channel? Just think about it for a second. All right. If you said that YouTube is a social media channel, you're wrong. YouTube is the second largest search engine in the world, right? And I learned a lot of stuff on YouTube. I learned the whole Photoshop and web design on YouTube, right? And we have our videos also run on YouTube. We have close to 700,000 views on our channel. And it's very cost effective. We're running some ads on YouTube. We are getting views for 2 cents. I'm like, wouldn't you pay 2 cents for someone to listen to you for 30 seconds? Wouldn't you want your videos to rank organically on YouTube? This is one of the most overlooked channels that a lot of business owners ignore. But again, YouTube is a search engine, and when you have your videos on YouTube, it's a lot easier for it to rank on the first page of Google because YouTube is owned by Google. Image optimization. This is very easy. You can just Google how to optimize my images. I don't want to go very detailed on it, but if you're a hotel or offer lifestyle or image tells 1,000 words, if there is a view of your restaurant or your hotel, will take the breath out of your clients. I'm like, yes, this is where I want to be when someone search hotels by the beach in Pennsylvania. I'm like, if I can see that image on the first page of Google, I'm like, I want to be there. I don't care what the price or how good this is. I want to see this view. So it's very easy. It's one of the easiest verticals that you can optimize, and you can find a lot of information about this very easily online. Step number 9, and this is very important. I see a lot of entrepreneurs will come to my sessions and my webinars. They will take notes and notes and notes. They will go home or back to their office and implement 1 or 2 of those notes, and the rest of the notes live in note heaven. And after a month or 2 months, they will just quit. I'm like, but they don't know what happened, right? This is the story that I was telling you guys about. This is Green Lotus ranking since 2015, and these are the toughest competitor in the market down there. And you can see it took us a long time to go over and outrank them. You, right now, if you do SEO for the next 2 months or 3 months, you might have moved your listing from or ranking from page 7 to page 4. You have not noticed any change in your business or the amount of visits or the amount of phone calls because you're not yet on the first page, but you are in the right direction. So it's the wrong time to quit. So when you track your ranking on Green Lotus, as I said, we will keep your historical data for a very long time. And we're also going to show your ranking on all 6 verticals. So you can see if you or your competitor ranking with an ad, with a local, with an image, with a video. We're actually the only search engine tools that can measure ranking on YouTube even, if you choose to track your ranking on YouTube. So these are one of the most important things. Do not give up before you just get to the first page of Google. I see it over and over. A lot of companies invest a little bit of time, and right before they get on the first page of Google, I'm like, we're not seeing the results. You need to invest 6 months at least in a strategy, and you need to see the results and the metrics moving in the right direction. If the metrics are not moving in the right direction at all, then stop the contract with whoever agency or a company that is doing it for you. But you need to be able to see that. And I was very surprised. Most of the clients that we onboard do not have, like, they use other agencies and they didn't even know how is their ranking is improving. And all the agency told them, I'm like, you're doing good. It's not fair. If you are hiring an agency, if you are hiring us, you need to see the metrics. You need to know if the needle is moving or not. Amazing. So I want to scare you all after all of this. About 4 months ago, Google have released an update called Mobile First Index. And to really summarize the story here, about 5-6 years ago, Google used to rank your website based on your desktop website, and that was it. About 2 years ago, Google came back and said, I will rank your desktop website differently on desktop, and I will rank your mobile differently on mobile. And about 4 months ago, Google came back and said, well, no more. Everything is depending on your mobile website. I remember that date when they released the update. I got so many emails on LinkedIn and messages of people just lost their minds. Their ranking went down the hill because their websites are not optimized for mobile. I've seen websites lose more than 40–50% of their traffic just because of that. So it's really time to act fast. It's now or never. If you do not act fast and comply with the latest Google updates, you can Google Google Mobile First Update and read about the algorithm compliance and things that they want you to do. It's becoming a lot harder to do this. But guess what? The people who are going to comply and optimize are going to remain in business. And as I say in a lot of my conferences lately, I am afraid that 50% of the people listening to me or 50% of the businesses that are not going to comply, that are going to shove this under the carpet, will not be there in 3 years. Because if it's hard now, it's going to be 10 times harder next year. And this is how Google progress. And if you're struggling now, you're really going to fall off the cliff next year. So why is that important? Why is Google making it a lot harder for businesses? There is a reason. There is a logic for that. Right now, for the first time in history, 2018 has been the first year in history that searches done on mobile have surpassed searches done on desktop. Actually, 60% of all web traffic now comes from mobile. Here's a case study that shows that the share of online searches initiated on mobile devices by industry. So where's the tourism here? Travel, 52%. 52% of all people looking for travel and tourism start their searches on mobile. So Google is simply yielding towards what the consumers prefer. You see food and beverage, it's the first one. Food and 72% start their searches on mobile. So this is why Google have launched that mobile first update and said, you really got to pay attention. And not just because that Google wants to be difficult. There is a case study that showed that 50% of local searches resulted in a store visit within a day, right? And this is what happened. People on their mobile, when they're searching, they're in a completely different state, and they want to know a lot more than just regular people on desktop. And this is the sad part. This is why I'm saying more than 50% of businesses will not be there in 2-3 years. This is a case study done by Medium that said that only 30% of websites are responsive. 59% of these websites, of websites online, are old websites, and 11% of businesses have no website. Actually, one of the people attending this webinar today, Theory from Penske, I would say that she was in the old site category, and she came on board, and we are redesigning a completely new, stunning website for her that comply with all of these. And you can see a little bit of businesses pulling out of the old technology, really paying attention, because on average, if you do not have a mobile strategy, you are losing anywhere between $60,000 to $200,000 a year. Can you really afford that? So I understand that digital marketing is difficult. Actually, 62% of business owners do not know if their marketing strategy is working for them or not. A lot of time when we have clients that we are onboarding and they tell me the story of what they did, it feels that they have thousands of dollars stepping into the balcony and throwing their dollars. Some of them land in the right place because you're a successful business and you have been there for many years, but you don't even know which dollar landed in the right spot. So it's really time to get smart data. It's really time to really get smart about digital marketing. And data do not lie. Track everything. From e-commerce sales to email leads to phone tracking. There's something called dynamic phone tracking that we can actually know how this offline activity generated and influenced by online activity. What was the keyword they searched for? I can actually know what keyword they searched on Google, they landed on my website, and they called me, and I can listen to that exact same phone call and know what is the value of it. So I invite you all to start trying Green Lotus tools. You can try it for free. For 7 days. There is more than 35 tools, 12 APIs, and you will really love our phone and personal support. This is some case studies of some of our clients. Remington Medical is one of a medium-sized company here in Canada, and they were like not really in the top 100 biggest companies, but after we did SEO for them, we improved their ranking by 427% across all Canada. They were, after being the 19th position on the most competitive, they are now the third most competitive across all of Canada. We were able in 6 months to get them ranked on the first page of Google for more than 103 keywords. Just a very small, simple company now dominating the first page of Google. Another one, client of ours, it's a luxury condo builder and home builder here. They were the website was pretty bad. They didn't rank anywhere. We improved their ranking by 632%. They were not ranked anywhere in the top 20 competitors for luxury home builders. Now they're the second most competitive, and they have more than 42 keywords ranking on the first page of Google. The very last few slides here, I want to talk about the future of advertising. Mobile used to be the future, and a lot of my presentation I said mobile is the future. Mobile is no longer the future. Mobile is the present of advertising, and if you do not have a mobile strategy, you are losing greatly. The future is machine learning. We have a lot of data. We have more data than objects on the face of this planet. So, for example, voice-activated searches. You can see how Google Assistant is winning, and a lot of people are using it. Actually, ComScore is predicting by next year, 10 months from now, 50% of all searches happening on Google will be via voice. How about voice for SEO for voice searches? This is going to be a completely new industry. And the problem is that the competition is going to be a lot fierce. When you Google something on your mobile or desktop, you get 10 to 15 results based on the number of ads showing. But when you ask your Google Home, you usually get one answer, up to 3 answers. So instead of 10, 15 results, you're only going to dumb it down to 1. So are you going to be that one, or are you going to be completely falling off the cliff? So use machine learning to your advantage. How to do that? We have machine learning bid management system for the people who want to spend their money more effectively. We use high converting landing pages with dynamic phone tracking, and we optimize your bid every 30 seconds, and we auto-apply this optimization on the road because this is how you spend your money more effectively. And this is a link to our bid management, smart bid management that you guys can check. The last thing, and I'm so proud to actually share this, and this is what the product that Terry signed up for, the Penscave, and this is smart sites. We're launching this, and we would love to have you trying it. It's a website that delivers a personalized experience based on triggers that you set. Triggers could be locations or time of day, or so if someone is close by to your restaurant, you can push a message to say, here's my my location, or here's my lunch menu. If they came back, I'm like, here's a 20% discount. So the website is personalizing itself on the fly. The website is built for Google. Every little inch of it, all our templates score more than 98% with Google usability. The websites are hosted on Amazon servers. It's the fastest and most secured servers in the world. Even your SSL certificate is also included. The website is built for mobile. All websites right now are built for desktop and then made responsive for mobile. This is the first website builder that is actually built the other way, that we designed it for mobile first, and then we made it for responsive. As you can see, our packages starts from $59. I cannot wait to share Penscave new website. It's in right now in the works, and we'll be so proud to see that going live very soon. So the last thing I want to share with you, that everything is marketing. No matter how good or bad your product, if there's no one knows about it, then how good it is. And this is the offer that we are very happy to offer every participant that have joined us today. If you would like to get that, we are happy to provide you a full site audit and competitive analysis that can actually show you where do you stand today and what you need to do to take it to the next level. And with that, I really want to thank you guys for taking the time to joining us today, and I hope to hear from you very soon.